Guys, it's me, it's Queen Osedaru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Now, someone asked me, how do you know if the Aquarius feels like you are the one? Now, Aquarius is idealistic. We want a profound, deep connection. If we're going to connect at all. You know, we will do non-committal in a heartbeat. But if it's time to really make a commitment, Aquarius wants a deep relationship, something, a soulmate, a twin flame, something that's profound. And the Aquarius will tell you if they feel like that's you. Because usually they'll be calling you their twin flame or their soulmate or something like that. They'll tell you. And maybe not at first, because we are a little shy with that information, because we've thought that more than one was the one who wasn't the one. So we might be a little shy with the information at first, but we will tell you. Now, if you want to peep it before we actually say it, peep the body language, peep the behavior, okay? When you first meet an Aquarius, they're generally their most aloof. They're most distant. They're most detached, They're not clingy. Usually we're not clingy at all. We just do us. We'll see you when we see you kind of thing. That's when you're just Mr. or Mrs. right now. But when the Aquarius starts to be around all the time and get clingy all the time and make time for you and start talking about commitment and musing about making a commitment, and when the Aquarius starts suddenly, not disappearing, not being so detached, buying you gifts, when they start being, more in your face, more romantic a lot of times, more taking you out on dates, when they start to, you start to feel their energy because it comes forward, and it goes in. The Aquarian energy is like, it starts to, come forward, and it starts to be so much more constant, so much more predictable too than it used to be. It starts just to be around more and more. So that's how you know you're the one, because the Aquarius starts treating you like you're the one. And then very shortly after they start treating you that way, they usually tell you that you're the one. Aquarius doesn't hide that information when they figure it out. But like I said, because we've mistaken that one quite a few times, many of us have thought somebody was the one and it just wasn't the one. So we might not say it quickly, but we will say it. But if you're paying attention, you'll see the body language. You'll see a big change. I mean, come on. Somebody they go from coming around when they feel like it to being around all the time. There, and it's not just one thing, it's a big change. Their whole energy changes. They go from denouncing commitments and relationships to musing about maybe. Their whole perspective changes, their vibration changes, they change. And that's how you know you're the one. If you're not the one, generally you can tell that too, because the Aquarius will behave like you're not the one, like you're temporary, like you're an option, like it's no future here. If an Aquarius treats a relationship like it has no future, like they don't make plans for a future in the relationship, then in those cases, the Aquarius knows or thinks that you're not the one, because they're not making any plans for longevity. An Aquarius who thinks that they may have found a home is going to treat it like a home. So if you're Aquarius, if you've been with them 2 or 3 years and they're still being aloof, they're still being distant, they're still being detached, they don't see a future there. So I wouldn't even push that, but if they do see a future, it's the exact opposite. And, it feels good. The vibration feels good, and then, like I said, after that, they will tell you. Okay. So if you're questioning, I always say, if you're wondering if you're the one with anyone, Ask them. Ask them their thoughts, ask them their feelings, ask them where this is going, ask them how they feel, ask them. I always ask, because I feel like this. I've been in a lot of situations with people where I was afraid to ask, where do I stand? Where do we stand? Where is this going? And I wasted time. I let people waste my time. If it's a situation where I want it to go somewhere and they don't, I'm wasting my time. If I don't want it to go somewhere and they do, I'm wasting my time. If we don't agree fundamentally on the relationship itself, the guidelines, any of those kind of things, big things, then I'm wasting my time. So I've allowed people to waste my time in the past, and I'm not willing to waste any more time. So I ask the question, throughout. That's why I remember a lot of the information I've given you always talks about communication. That's why they tell you when you're in a relationship with someone to consistently communicate where you are, because if you're communicating all the way through, you won't get lost. You won't get lost in a space where you don't realize where you are. You'll never come to that space because you're constantly communicating day to day about the relationship. That only happens when you're not communicating about it, and then one person is thinking one thing and the other person is thinking the other thing, and they're both waiting like, okay, and the conversations have to be had. That's why the literature says, have the hard conversations. These conversations are not easy, but these conversations will get you what you want. Okay? So I hope that helps you. And I wanted to make mention to you guys that today is January 21st, 2019. It is the observation of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to all of those who did service today, who paid homage, to this ancestor today, and it's also a full moon today, and last night it was an eclipse. So today is definitely an auspicious day. So you guys, in honor of MLK, I just want to remind you to please help other people. MLK was all about helping others. His day is usually used for community service. So whenever you can help others, whenever you can share, please do. When you can't, you can't. But when you can, please do. All right, guys. So I am going to get going. If you would like to leave me a love donation, my PayPal will be underneath here. If you would like to make an appointment for an oracle or a tarot reading, I'll leave my email. And if you want to hit me up on social media, I will leave my Instagram and my Facebook. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it along. See you later.